on the moon. Tonight, NASA scientists call those comments out there. CBS 2's Crystal Cruz is live at USC with reaction. Hi, Crystal.
Hi, Sharon. Buzz Aldrin, the astronaut, he was a guest speaker here at USC tonight. Well, these PhD students, they weren't buying any conspiracy theories.
We ever been to the moon? Nope.
That's basketball star and Golden State Warriors Steph Curry doubting man landed on the moon.
They gonna come get us. I don't think so. I'm conspiracy. Sorry, I don't
Closest
think
thing we got.
conspiracy. They ain't been on the moon.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
And they, Twitter users, did come for Curry, tweeting, "You and your peers are way too influential to be putting out these uninformed opinions." USC professor of astronautical engineering, Madhu Tonkavelu, encourages people to look at the facts.
We got rovers, we got landers, and we have tracks of people walking, and all these can be now seen using telescopes that are orbiting the moon. Unless they were done by the aliens, I can't think of any other way they'd have gotten there.
Tuesday night, USC students presented work on why we should return to the moon in front of the second man to walk on the moon, Buzz Aldrin.
50 years ago, Saturn V took three guys, Neil, Mike, and I, and the lander into lunar orbit.
Aldrin refused to talk Curry. However, NASA invited the basketball star to Houston to check out the evidence, including moon rocks. Martin Greco works at Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena and also offered up a tour.
We can show him how we actually done the Mars landings as well, in case, before he gets into too deep, that we didn't do those as well.
Now, Buzz did not want to comment on Curry, but when I pushed a little further, asked him again, he told me to, quote, "Go ask the Russians." I'm Crystal Cruz reporting live.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. As many of you probably heard, some of you probably don't follow sports but have heard the name Steph Curry because they've kind of made him into like the LeBron James, Michael Jordan type of household name, which they do with all of these athletes now. They turn them into false idols as well. Well, there's just this controversy going on about the moon landing and Steph Curry saying it was fake and then retracting the statement. And I just want people to be aware that this is all part of a deliberate plan to get these topics into the mainstream media. This is why they had Kyrie Irving talking about the flat earth. Meanwhile, Kyrie Irving, the basketball player, has the Illuminati tattoo right on his arm. Okay, you could see the other tattoo on his hand. What is that tattoo of? Right? You can even see him doing Masonic handshakes with guys like John Wall. Okay? All of these guys, all of these players are initiated into these secret societies. Whether you believe sports are rigged or they're not, that doesn't matter. These athletes are mainly a part of it. Now, does it mean every single player in the leagues are? I would doubt that. But these big mainstream stars, they all get recruited. They get recruited by the elites if they're not already born into a bloodline. Now, Steph Curry, his father is a famous NBA player. What do you think that these guys, and I'm going to show you right now, how we should all just automatically know that Steph Curry is one of them. What do you think these guys suddenly, they play basketball and then they're hanging out at the White House? I mean, you could see Steph Curry hanging out with Obama. Take a look at this disturbing video. And I say it's disturbing because it's almost Handler-like. As many of you might have seen this before, but this is from Obama's own presidential YouTube page that he has. And they're hanging out together like Steph Curry's a 5-year-old child and Obama's his master handler. Take a look.
You don't need this little clip art over here. So let's take that out. Incredible dancer. I don't know if people are going to believe you. I see. You sure want to do that?
Yeah, set me up.
All right. The first time I saw the White House was in 1984. I just graduated from college. I was working as a community organizer out of the Harlem campus of the City Colleges in New York. You got to have your elbow in a little bit. Okay. All right. Release. Make sure it's on your fingertips.
Maybe I should shoot lefty.
You can try that.
I got one shot at this. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. That's science right there. I'm really proud of you, man. That's a wonderful volcano.
Thank you, man.
You don't need all the time in the world or all the answers to be the mentor someone needs. And you don't need to be an NBA star or the President of the United States to be someone's hero.
Support My Brother's Keeper.
Be a mentor.
Now, I don't know about you. If I was a prominent, like, what if this video was of Trump and let's say who's a famous athlete? I don't know. Pick somebody, a celebrity, and they go to the White House to hang out with Trump. Say George Clooney, right? And he wants to go and hang out with Trump, and they're playing, Connect 4, and they're doing science projects with volcanoes. Anyone think that's weird, abnormal behavior? Not to mention the fact that you can see, and listen, a lot of these sports handshakes are Masonic. They might do this stuff, these shimmies, and bounce their elbows off each other, but they always end with some type of Masonic shake. And you can even see the two of them doing the shake. You can see Steph Curry's hand and where it's heading. Okay, this is a Masonic handshake. You see the two fingers open. Okay, not hard to see at the bottom right there. This in itself is known in Freemasonry as the real grip of a master mason. Now, of course, Obama would be a master mason. And listen, once these people go through Freemasonry, they end up going into way higher, bigger secret societies. Freemasonry, as everyone always likes to say, is at the bottom, but it's the starting point. It's the recruiting grounds. Then they go into covens and other satanic cults, and I don't know what specific cults these people are in because they're so secret, you would never know. These people go by, I talked about in my video on Skull and Bones, these people go, when they're in their secret societies, they have different names. So, for example, George Bush Sr. wouldn't be known as George Bush or 41. They had full different names so that they can communicate in the open. If they're out in public and they're like, oh, is so-and-so coming tonight? Right? They know the other code name for these people. They wouldn't be like, oh, is George Bush coming tonight? Right? In case anyone overheard any of it. I mean, that's how secretive they are. And these handshakes, they're always zooming in and showing these handshakes, on news reports, whether it's Trump shaking someone's hand or Obama or the Pope. That's for a reason. That's for these Masons to identify and see these handshakes. Okay, so what has happened is they bring this stuff into the mainstream so they can discredit it. Okay, the moon landing stuff has gotten so out of control because everybody who has even the most sleeping zombies out there question the moon landing. Now, they won't go deeper into SRA, satanic rituals, any of that stuff. But people look at it and they go, it's pretty fake. And how come we've never been back, right? And you even get NASA people saying, oh, we lost that type of technology. Huh? You lost that type of technology? Haven't we evolved with technology, but you're going to Mars and you can't go to the moon, right? Because it's all fake. And everybody can see how fake the moon landing looks, right? And that's why you get YouTube, when you look up the moon landing, giving you an explanation as to why not. But this is what they want to do. They want someone like Steph Curry, someone like Kyrie, they want to bring all of these types of topics up. Now, obviously, we know Pizzagate even got into the mainstream, but, they discredit that in a different way by going, oh, they're doing this with kids in a pizza parlor. This type of stuff they love so that they can have the talking heads on the sports channel say, Steph Curry's a role model. He shouldn't be saying stuff like this. Oh, da-da-da-da-da. Then Steph Curry comes out the next day and he says, obviously I was joking about it on the podcast. He says, I was silently protesting how stupid it was that people actually took that quote and made it law, like it was, oh my gosh, he's a fake moon landing truther, whatever you want to call it, yada, yada, yada. So I was silently protesting that part about it, how the story took a life of its own. And he says, but in terms of the reaction I've got, I'm definitely going to take NASA up on their offer because this is going to become mainstream now, right? So NASA's going to bring him, down to their headquarters, their front, really. And, he's just going to play his role as a Mason. He's going to go, I fully am convinced we went to the moon. NASA even released a quote talking about moon rocks, showing him moon rocks. Somebody give me a break. I could go find a rock in my woods and bring it up to someone's front door. Oh, it's a moon rock. Look, it's a rock from the moon because it looks like it's just a white rock. Oh, that must mean it's from the moon. That's all the evidence that I need. Meanwhile, they make fun of Christians, for our belief in Jesus Christ when there's actual evidence of God's existence that they hide from everyone. And then they go, oh, yeah, we went to the moon. Here's a rock to prove it. Well, is the rock like floating in the air, levitating? I mean, give me a break. So Steph Curry will go down there, and then he'll come out and say, wow, we went to the moon. All this stuff is real. So that all the young kids out there who question this stuff, they'll say, oh, Steph Curry's right. Moon landing is real. He's my hero because he's an influencer on children. That's how they work, right? They told him to, do stuff like this. They want this stuff in it because it's not secret anymore. None of it's secret. People are questioning the moon. The only reason that they are bringing it up is to deflect. And then they come up with game plans like this, where they say, okay, let's have famous people, famous athletes, because they're bigger influencers on children than even celebrities are, because celebrities are pretty much more influencers on teens and, 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds who worship these celebrities. Not saying that they're, musicians don't have influence on kids, because they do too. But these athletes, right? Oh, we'll have them say this about flat Earth, about the moon landing, and then we'll have, NASA show them, we'll do a video on it, and then everybody will be convinced that we landed on the moon, or at least that generation will be, and then they can keep doing stories like this, and they can go, it's already been debunked, we landed on the moon. All right? So don't fall for this type of stuff when you see it in the media, because it's there for a reason, right? It's there for a reason, not because Steph Curry was like, oh, you don't think Steph Curry knows the moon landing's fake? All of these Masons, all of these people in secret societies know these truths about the world because they're taught that Lucifer's God, and they're taught all of this stuff that we know about how history's faked. All this stuff is fake to keep people under control and living inside of this enslaved matrix. Okay, Steph Curry's very aware that we didn't go to the moon. All they have to do is call him and say, listen, go on a podcast, go on a show, say something, they're going to bring up conspiracy, say something about this so that all the people in the media could rip you and say, oh my gosh, why are these people? Then come out and apologize. Then we'll take you to NASA and we'll convince more people that it's real, because you'll come out and you'll say, I can't believe what I saw. It's incredible. NASA's real and all this stuff's real, right? Because that's all that the enslaved masses need. They need their hero to tell them that. That's all. That's all it takes for them. Oh, Steph Curry says it's real. They don't need to actually see it, right? Unbelievable. It really is. And like I said, the video, you see him hanging out with Obama. It's like, would another celebrity be going to the White House hanging out with Trump and playing Monopoly and tiddlywinks, and then it's, doing science experiments, like, huh? Right? And I get, oh, okay, well, the narrative for it was mentorship. But I mean, you're talking, just weird, creepy type stuff, even with the Masonic shake in the video. And I almost was about to wrap the video up. And let's not forget, when we're talking about orders and these people taking orders from others, Steph Curry is on the website for Celine Dion's Nunu, or whatever it's called, the gender neutral clothing, dressing his child in gender neutral clothes. Okay, so you don't think he's taking orders? People will be like, oh, Steph Curry, he's a real Christian. He's a role model. All right, that's what people will say. Oh, he's a hero. We should all admire him, right? Because he plays the role. Oh, I'm a Christian, right? They'll be like, oh, he's even got a Bible verse tattooed on him. Meanwhile, he's dressing his child in gender-neutral clothes. And let's not forget as well how the NBA is indoctrinating everyone with the 666 symbol, trying to convince people means three-pointer, right? A three-point, when you make a three-point basket. Even though you have these guys throwing it up, holding it over their eyeball, just like we see on the magazine covers. Is Bono, is Leonardo DiCaprio, when they're holding the 666 over their eyeball on GQ and in these magazines, are they saying, I made a three-pointer, take a picture of me, right? Are they playing basketball during the photo shoot? I mean, really? Really? Steph Curry's another guy always holding it up, whether he hits a three-pointer or not, doing the serpent's tongue, the devil horns, you name it. They are indoctrinating everybody left and right, from athletes, celebrities, musicians, politicians, you name it. Okay, so this is just another psyop that they've created. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.